try to teach the world as well as in representation. But so you should take my answer with this reservation in mind. So my sense is that, I mean, one way to see what this claim comes to is to think of it in terms of the contrast between, two conceptions of action. One conception is such that in acting, you really start from thinking, from a representation, and you realize it in the world. It is, as it were, your purpose that you set in advance, and then once you have that purpose, you know what are the means to realize that purpose, you know what to do. And in that sense, Kant says practical reason is causality from concept. You start with the concept, you start with the representation. Schopenhauer says, no, let's think about it differently. Let's think about, as it were, the primary ground being will. What does it mean? It means, let's think of really a substantive ground other than representation, other than thought. And in the human being, this would be what he calls character. He also refers here to Kant, to certain conceptions of intelligible character that Kant discusses in the religion. But if you start from character, you, in a sense, say that whatever choices I make, whatever reflections I take myself to be responsible for, and as it were, act upon freely, all these ultimately are just expression of this substantive ground of character, which is, what will is for a human being. For a human being, it's not just the form of the body that is the expression of the word will, but since we are beings with reason and language and so on, we must seek also something which is the expression of the will at that level, and this is character. Each of us has, as it were, this character which is not predetermined in a temporal sense, but really inescapable and revealed gradually over life, because whatever you do, whatever you think of yourself of doing because of this or that purpose, because of this or that intention that you think, is completely up to you, ultimately is to be thought of as just expressions of that character. And so in that sense, I think, you would say that will and action would be one. This is a bit different than the way I presented it in the paper, which concerned much more the question of whether you can will in thought, as it were, and only later put the substance, the body, into action. Right? Can you will something in 10 minutes? Already will it now, but just do it a lot later. And Schopenhauer would say, no, here you confuse, willing that is internally connected to acting, to your body, to the manifestations of character, with deliberation, which belongs to the space of reflection. So everything about him is, in that sense, reversing the priority of representation and willing. And it's powerful, it's interesting. And I think there's something about Wittgenstein's attack on certain ways of conceiving of the subjective and of willing and action that, as it were, depend on a certain understanding of the unity of subjectivity that are very much in line with this way Schopenhauer has of criticizing the primacy of representation. I hope this is somewhat answering your question.
Thank you, Professor Leonard. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else has any question? So I think now we are almost completed 2 hours. So um, Vikrant would offer you vote of thanks. Vikrant, are you there? Yeah, please. That's okay. That's okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the
Thank you.
invitation.
Thank
It's a
you.
pleasure.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, everybody.
Thank you.
Really big thank
We'll meet next month again. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. At least bye.